Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Leftovers podcast. My name is Cooper,
My name is Riley.
My name is Paige.
and we are a bunch of unsuccessful internet creators who have decided to start a podcast for some fucking reason.
Please follow me on Twitter.
And what's your Twitter handle?
At Negalam.
Amazing.
Amazing. So, Cooper, what have you done this week?
I spent the last day making a website about eggs. It is pretty good. I might put it in the show notes.
It's it's all about eggs.
It's all about eggs. That site is literally called All About Eggs. The only website that is all about eggs.
I don't know if I believe that.
Well, it's probably not true, but it was for its project, so I had to think of something. I had to think of a name. The project was I had to make a website that's about a certain type of food, and it was like regional or local, grandma's favorite recipe, actual quote from the rubric. And I was not about that. I was not about to like buy a bunch of fancy ingredients and make something I actually liked. So I opened up my fridge just looking for something, and I saw that I bought too many eggs, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. This is perfect.
Okay, but I feel like eggs is the most generic product you could have possibly chosen, right?
It works. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's
You
fine.
do
Like
you.
the point is I made a website that is functional
It's
and you get some information out of it.
it could be more visually pleasing, but it's functional.
It's my first like actual website that I coded by hand, so cut me some slack.
Okay, well,
proud
that's
of you.
fine. But
Eggs.
you should have made it on squarespace.com.
No,
We're not sponsored by
we're not sponsored by Squarespace, and
that
I'm
would've
not
been a
even
really
allowed
good
to use
lead.
that.
I know,
Do
right?
that.
If we actually got a sponsor, we'll never have a lead that good ever again.
I mean, if only.
How was your
tragic.
week, Riley?
Oh, I'm not done.
Oh, you're not
I have
done.
more. I have more bitching
More-
about school.
Oh,
this
Oh,
week.
about
Please,
school?
didn't you have
I
a
thought you were gonna talk about
professor?
the eggs.
Like a professor
get to
you were
that.
mad about.
So, I am the only one of us three who is going to college.
Okay, don't call us out like that.
Okay.
Quote tweet me, bitch. Just at me.
So I'm going to school right now, and I'm studying journalism with a concentration in creative mass media. And that's basically like I want to study graphic design and like web development. That's pretty much it. So I have to take this one class called creative strategy, and it's literally like a high school economics course. And
Oh.
I took this class in 11th grade in high school economics, but I have to take it again because it's a degree requirement. And so I'm in this class with this awful professor. Like, she's really sweet, but she's also very hard on grading, and she gives way too much work. She expects way too much from us because for our final project, she wants us to make 5 magazine ads, 2 newspaper ads, and I should say, like, most of the work we do in this class is just make advertisements. But yeah, she wants us to make like a bunch of print ads, billboards, 3 radio ads, 2 video ads. Yes, a radio ad. Like, hey, we're sponsored by Squarespace. It's the easiest way to make a website.
I really hope that Squarespace sponsors us eventually.
It's someday.
We've already plugged them twice. I mean, come on,
I know.
guys.
Come on, Squarespace.
It's like they owe us now.
DM us
We'll just
right
call
now.
them Cube Space until we get it.
CubeSpace. That sounds like some kind of weird Minecraft Squarespace mod.
It's
Cube Space, yeah.
it sounds like Guntopia, World of Guns.
Oh my god. Guntopia is the greatest Minecraft mod that ever
Oh yeah.
existed. It's not cringy at all.
No, we don't use that word here. Nothing's cringy, okay?
Nothing's cringy, only yikes.
Especially not Guntopia Legend of the Guns. A mod that just adds guns to Minecraft.
Everyone who plays Minecraft, go download Guntopia
Go
Legend of the
download
Guns.
Guntopia Legend of the Guns right now.
I forgot what version it's for, but if you go to the forge page for Guntopia Legend of the Guns, it'll tell you. But back to this class. So we saw this final project and I'm like, what the fuck? She expects us to do this? Right? And I was going to tell her, but then everyone was like, no, don't tell her. And I'm like, why? Why shouldn't I ask her about this project? But I wasn't about to cause a bunch of drama for my classmates. I'm not going to see them in a month anyway. So I sent her an email. Haven't gotten a reply yet. But yeah.
What'd you say in the email?
I was like, is this real? That's pretty much it. Do we really have to do all this work?
Is this real?
Yeah, that's not what I actually said, but that's the summary. And there's more. I have more complaining, and this is a recent development. So Wednesday, I get in class a little bit early for once, and there's this girl. I'm gonna call her Lila, and someone else who I don't know what her name is.
Make it up.
But yeah, Lila is actually the one who told me about the final project, and I'm like, oh no. And she is the one who told me not to straight up ask the professor if it was real in class, or she was the first one.
Might be a bad idea.
Maybe. Like, Lila is one of those people who doesn't really have anything going on for their life. And they have no skills except for like starting drama.
Are you quote tweeting me again?
No, not you. Someone else.
Okay.
Someone else. Someone who's going to school.
It's fine. I definitely don't fall into that category either. Not at all.
I'm not saying anything.
Way to stay neutral.
Mm-hmm.
So Lila's like, yeah, there's this big project. And also, I think the project due this week, which would be Friday, because for some reason all of our projects are due Friday night. She was like, yeah, the project's going to be due a week later than it says it is. And I'm like, well, I'm the idiot who believed her.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. I should have immediately looked up online on our little like online classroom when the project was due.
Oh, yikes.
So Friday comes, my girlfriend's having like this, or my girlfriend's family's having this birthday party for like all the people in her family that were born in March. I'm basically there from like
born in March
5 p.m. to like 10:30 at night. And I get back and I'm exhausted. I'm ready to go to bed. But before I like tuck myself in, so then I decide to check Instagram for once, and I'm looking at people's stories, and my partner from class, like our class, we have assigned partners that we have to work on almost every project with. And I fucking hate my partner, but I follow him on Instagram. So I'm looking at his story, and he's like working on this project in the computer lab on campus at like 9:30 at night, or at least that's what his story said. And I'm like, okay, why is he working on it if it's not due until next week? And that's when I got suspicious, because the only time he ever works on stuff is like a few hours before it's due. So I do the thing I should have done when Lila told me when the project was due. I went online, looked at the due date, and it was that night by 11:59 p.m. And I'm like, shit. So I slapped something together. I made some okay vector art billboards. They're not as fancy as I would have liked them, but they should be good enough to get me at least a B.
Oh, come on. You pulled together a B. I mean, come on.
At least a B.
At least a B.
Well, I've seen what other people have put together.
Oh. Oh, bother.
Yeah. How was your week?
Okay, so I'm a loser.
Way to put that out there.
It's okay. I read a lot of fan fiction this week.
Well, tell us all about it.
All right, so I read a lot of fucking yandere fan fiction.
I like that you're giving this away episode 1.
Listen,
it's very
Episode
open
1.
of you.
I, like, after a certain point in my life, I'm like, I'm trash. Other people are trash. Might as well not try to hide it, you know?
That's a good philosophy.
I like your mindset.
Thank you. A lot of the yandere fan fiction is trash. For the normal people that aren't pathetic weeaboo trash out there, a yandere is like... it's like a person who's very obsessive and crazy.
Usually a girl.
Usually a girl that is very obsessive and crazy about somebody they love. The main type I see is like Yunogasai, except I hate that type of yandere. I hate the Yunogasai from Future
Explain
Diary.
who is Yunogasai.
She's from Future Diary. She's a pink bitch, and
What does she do?
she kills people for touching her boo. And she's like, boo, if you don't love me, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I love you. I'm so crazy. I'm gonna, like, murder people. Because I'm jealous.
She also locked her boo in, like, a basement.
She also
and
did
put
that
him
to
in
her
a-
parents.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that far. But
Oh, oops.
I don't care. I stopped watching that show in, like, 10th grade?
You
Which
made a
would-
good choice.
Which would be, like, almost 4 years ago.
Sometimes yanderes will go to an extent to where they'll be like, my love, either they feel like their love isn't safe or they don't like their love being around other people and they're jealous and they're like, I want them all to myself. They'll kidnap them and lock them up and sometimes hurt their boo. But I don't like the hurt stuff. I don't want to be like, I read a lot of stuff and I often am just like, pain. I'm not.
No hurt.
And I don't really, I'm not a big fan of the I kill a lot of people for, I don't like that.
I have over 300 confirmed kills.
So, Ellen, you're saying you like wholesome yanderes.
No, it's not wholesome what I read.
More wholesome yanderes than the ones who are like, I have 300 confirmed kills.
I like the
all
ones
for you.
that make me feel guilty when I read them. Like, not guilty of the sense of being like, what the fuck is happening, but enough where I feel bad for the yandere, you know, to an extent. Like, it can't be like a stupid backstory, like, you saved me from bullies once in kindergarten, and my parents are dead. Love me. I'm not gonna feel anything for you. I'm like, you can shove it up your butt. But
what I guess shows or books are these fan fictions based off? Oh, it's a secret.
that I'm not ready to reveal to the world.
I like that you're ready to reveal the yandere part, but you're not ready to reveal that it's
Well-
cringy like fandom.
Sometimes it's fandoms and
I
sometimes
can
it's
think of a few that
it's-
it would be.
real people, but I don't like usually reading a lot of real people stuff. It's just sometimes that's the majority, and I've come to
Right.
accept some of it. Don't look at me.
So you lowered your standards,
I'm reading fan fiction. My standards are already low.
and yet they got lower.
The bar is
Congratulations.
already touching the
But let me
floor.
tell you, I already told Riley about this. Let me tell you about the fanfic I read the other day. I like a lot of ghost stuff sometimes too. Like, I like spooky, you know, I like ghosts.
That sounds spooky.
There was this ghost yandere fanfiction.
Oh.
Yes. Let me tell you about the dumb broad that was the main character.
Tell
So-
me and our non-existent listeners.
The crazy yandere was the ghost.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah. So she goes to the manor that her aunt had, like, left to her in her will, and she's gonna, like, I don't know, like, what is it called when you...
Inherit?
No. When you fix up a place.
Repair
You
it?
flip it.
No, not the flipping. It's not redecorate.
You
Oh, wait.
remodel.
Oh,
Remodel. Yeah, she does some remodeling. But she does some remodeling at the place.
As a ghost?
No, she's not a ghost.
Okay.
She's a human.
Okay.
The ghost is the yandere. She's
I
a
see.
human. And the ghost is haunting the manor. And she goes up there for a few weeks by herself while she's remodeling it. And I wouldn't go to this place by myself because I'd be scared. I'd be like, oh, there's gonna be a witch popping out, like murdering me. And she goes up to like a room, and it's the only room without electricity in it. But she's not spooked by that, 'cause she's like, I was expecting more of the lights to not work. She goes in, and she hears somebody laughing in the room. I would have already been like, bye.
Jumps out the window.
Like, that's weird. And a lot of stuff like that just keeps on happening at the manor. Like, her picture frames being, like, pushed down or cracked. Her objects keep on moving. Somebody opening her boxes when she didn't do it. At the very least, if you don't believe in ghosts, you'd think that there's another person living in your house or something.
It's one active ghost.
Yes. You'd see from the ghost perspective a lot. He was really into her. He'd have sexy dreams with her sometimes.
The ghost would?
The
Yes.
ghost?
How does that...
Do ghosts even have dreams?
No, he would get into her dreams. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the science of ghosts.
Is it even a science?
Yes.
Pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience.
But it all leads up to her friend, who's like a guy, her best friend, coming to visit her. And the ghost is very upset about this. Because he's a yandere. He's like, I don't want anybody touching my lover, even though she doesn't know this relationship exists. With
Only
this ghost.
I can have sexy dreams with this girl.
Mm-hmm. And the friend comes over and she tells him, haha, my place might be haunted. And they're joking about it. But they go back into the living room where her best friend's duffel bag was, and all his stuff is scattered. I'd been like,
Spooky.
goodbye. If I was the friend, I'd be like, well, I'm not spending the night anymore. I'm leaving.
But he was like, I'll
Yeah.
spend the night.
They're like, yeah, well, let's just put everything back in the duffel bag, and I'll take you to your room. And
What
the room,
a fool.
I know. The room she took him to was a room that didn't have the electricity at the time, where she heard the laughter. And as soon as they go in the room, on the mirror is written, get out.
Okay.
Did they get out?
I would have
Come on.
yeeted myself out the window. But they're like, that's so scary. Maybe it is haunted.
Let's have sex.
Let's
Essentially,
bone in
that's
this
what
room
happened.
without
The
electricity.
girl goes to her best friend and she's like, look, if my place is haunted, the ghost has never bothered me, so that means you should just sleep in my room tonight and we'll be safe. And I'm like, well, that's stupid.
Doesn't
Just
it
get
all?
out.
It doesn't it all kill the mood for them?
It doesn't.
that
They
there's
go
a
to the
ghost.
room. And the friend is stupid too, because I would have been like, your ghost doesn't want me here. I'm not like a rude guest or anything. I know when I'm unwanted, I'm leaving. They go to the room and then they bone. No, I would be like, a ghost is watching us. I can't have sex with you. But no, they do it anyway, and then they wake
Maybe
up.
that's their thing.
Maybe it is. Maybe
You know
that's
what?
what's
You
so
didn't even
rude.
consider that. You fucking inconsiderate bitch.
You know what? In horror movies, a lot of times they bone in dangerous situations. Maybe it's just, don't do that. Maybe it's just a thing.
Like how immediate you shut that down.
But
We're not having none of that activity on the podcast.
they wake up
Riley.
the next morning and the room is trashed. Like, picture frames are thrown everywhere. Like, the photo of her and her best friend, who I guess is now her, like, boyfriend because they had sex. His face is all, like, X'd out on the photo. And that's when she freaks out. She's like,
That's when she freaks
she's
out.
like, this is scary.
It wasn't scary until that point.
And then her best friend stands up and he gets dragged by the ankle down the stairs and then out the front door, and it's locked. He was thrown out of the house, all right? And she's like, no! And she's trying to get out of the house, but the ghost is like, he appears to her and he's holding her and he's like, you're my girlfriend now. And he drags her up the stairs and then pushes her down them and kills her.
Oh.
And then it ends a little while later, like she wakes up and she's like, I guess I'm dead. And the ghost is like, hello, we're together now. My problem is, I'm not going to be scared of another ghost. What are you going to do to me? Kill me?
It's
Like,
no longer. There's no
I'm no
longer
longer-
a threat.
There's no threat.
Unkill me.
This is a normal relationship now. Like, she's stuck in the manor with him because he killed her for some reason. I don't
In the manor.
Yeah, they're like stuck to it. And that's the end of the story, is that she has to spend eternity with him. But he can't force her to do anything, and like she can just like avoid him, or you know, they don't have to be in a romantic relationship. Can ghosts bone? Maybe.
Maybe.
We don't know. We
He
don't know the
definitely
science.
cried.
They can feel emotions, but can they feel the pleasures of the flesh?
Well, if they can like lift a boy and just throw
I'm
him
sure
out
they
the door.
But I was just like, I hate stories like that where they kill the protagonist. It's just a big turn off.
Worst thing is, she didn't even consent to be killed.
No, she didn't. She was
You know
very
what? You're
upset
right.
about it. The author like did a bunch of one-offs where they were talking to this person, and like, because people were requesting stuff because it's Tumblr. And it was just like,
Well, there you go.
like, I want something with the character and being like, I'll never love you or whatever, but it's implied that she's going to love him eventually, like in some one of the one-offs she loves him. I am not going to love somebody who killed me.
Yeah, I might be bitter forever about that.
I'm going to make
Maybe.
your eternity hell if you threw me down the stairs after I just got laid finally. First time in my life.
Oh no.
So what about that study you looked up?
Oh, yes.
Speaking of getting boned,
Getting boned. Okay. So, for all you, like, virgins out there,
it's okay.
it's okay. Or people who are going through a dry spell.
It's okay.
It's okay, because apparently people are having less sex.
It's normal now.
Mm-hmm. Especially men 18 to 34.
Oh no.
It's tripled the amount.
Oh no.
The amount of non-sex.
Non-sexual, like, people. And it has a lot to do with, like, a lot of those people around that age still live at home with their parents.
It's Fortnite.
Yes.
Just say it. It's
And
Fortnite.
it's harder for them to have somebody to come home with them and bone if your parents are there.
I imagine they don't get out as much.
Yes.
If I can relate this to myself at all.
Also, it has a lot to do with, like, they did studies where, like, unemployment, you know, and everything. You're more likely to get boned and be in a relationship if you have a job versus if you don't.
Oh yeah, because girls don't want no scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
No.
They were also talking about how it has a lot to do with technology nowadays too, because there's more stuff to do, like video games.
Like Fortnite.
Like Fortnite.
We're just dancing around Fortnite. We're just flossing around
I'm
it.
just flossing.
And like,
Don't
for
do it.
example, the share of people who are having relations, this is from the Washington Post, the share of people who are having relations once a week or more now sits at 39% compared with the 51% in 1996.
Oh, that's not good. The human race is dying, and it's because of video games.
It's because of Fortnite.
It's also because, like, people are getting married later in life now than, like, as early as they did. And if you're married, you're more likely to have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense.
And, like, so the people who are in their 30s and above, obviously not counting the 60s, because the 60s, it's actually dropped off some more. They're having less sex now when you're in your 60s. But
I wonder why.
your 30s and above is more likely when you're going to get married now versus, like, the 20s, you know?
Yeah.
And those people are now much more likely to have sex versus the people who are in their 20s. And it used to be, like, closer or vice versa.
I see.
I mean, it kind of sounds like an improvement.
Probably.
At least the marriage later thing. It sounds more
it's not.
responsible. right?
I never thought it was good to get married like as soon as you graduate college. Some people get married as soon as they graduate high school, which is like,
That's a big yike.
What are you doing?
Like, I know both my parents got married when they were very young, and they're just like, don't do it. They didn't get married to each other very young. It was their first wife and husband.
Yes, my parents are the same way. I can relate.
And I'm like, that sounds like a bad idea.
Don't do it. Give
Yike.
yourself, listeners, give yourself some time.
Listeners, don't rush into a relationship, all right?
Especially
your
with a
time.
ghost.
Don't let anyone feel bad that you're a virgin.
Live your youth.
And play more
Play
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
We're not sponsored by Fortnite.
You could play other games too.
Like
Play
Apex Legends.
It's a little better than Fortnite.
It's a little better.
saying.
It's less
You know what?
cringy than
Just throw stuff at
I
me.
didn't mean to.
Just attacking
Just,
Jesus.
You know, meet some friends. Maybe you could meet the person you're going to marry in your 30s by playing Dungeons and Dragons with a bunch of cool people.
Yeah.
So many more people are into D&D. Just play D&D.
Has a resurgence.
Get married in D&D.
I've noticed. In D&D, but not in real life.
Not in real life.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of work, guys.
And is it really worth it?
Nah.
You can just be together.
I saw a video, I think it was uploaded by The Atlantic, and it was like interviewing 3 people who had video game addiction. And one of them was like, well, the video was like each person was represented by their in-game avatar.
Oh, God.
And it was like, it was weird to look at. And one of them was a girl, and she made her avatar to be like, I don't look like a Sasquatch, like Bigfoot. So it was just this really tall,
Sexy.
hairy lady.
Fucking hot.
And she was like, yeah, I got into this game. I'm guessing it's like World of Warcraft or something similar. But she's like, I got into this game when my boyfriend introduced it to me. And then she and her boyfriend like moved in together, and they played in the same room, but like never really talked to each other outside of the game. And at one point they were like, let's get married in the game. And she was like, we had a party and everything. We ate food in the game. We danced in the game. We exchanged rings in the game. You couldn't really see the ring on my hairy finger.
They're doing it all.
In this game that is now dead, apparently.
Wow.
It's WoW or something like WoW. Excuse my dogs.
Bark.
And it probably wasn't WoW, but it was something.
Yeah,
it was
WoW's
like some
still alive.
it was some dead RPG, because one of the guys was like, look at this place, it's fucking dead now, but it was great when I was playing it.
That reminds me of a documentary me and my friend watched together. It was about Second Life.
Oh.
I think it was called like Life 2.0 or something like that. And it's just about like 3 or 4 different people who are addicted to playing Second Life.
Oh my
like they
God.
literally made it their second life.
Weren't you telling me like a while ago that someone was making clothing in Second Life and selling it
Yes,
for money?
there was this girl who like it was her job. She was a designer
For
in
Second Life.
Yes. And she had a designer line of clothing, and then other people acknowledged this and bought her clothing, and there's some sort of like she managed to make real money with this.
That's my dream, to
Yeah.
make money off of something as stupid as that.
I know, right? Like that's
Someday.
amazing. But there was also this creepy dude who was shrouded in darkness because he wanted to remain anonymous for some reason. And his avatar was like a 13-year-old girl.
Oh no.
Oh, well, I wonder why he wanted to be
I don't
shrouded
know.
in darkness.
It could be anything.
It's a mystery.
But,
Truly.
he was saying shit like, when I play as her, I embody her, and she just she takes the lead, and she leads the way, and
Is he in
I
love with
become her. It the way he talked about his avatar, it was like, I'm in love with this 13-year-old girl avatar.
FBI, open up.
Please. But he was super obsessed with the game, and he was like, I need to stop playing the game because of my life. And so
But he had his Second Life.
he was gonna throw like a I'm quitting the game party with all his Second Life 13-year-old girl friends. Like that they were all of his friends in the game also pretend to be 13-year-old girls, okay?
Oh, that's a yike.
It's a big
That
yike.
sounds like somebody who should be on a list.
I sure hope he's on a list. But he was like, I'm gonna throw this party for leaving the game. And all my little girlfriends we're gonna be a part of this party.
And how did the party go?
Well, he was like, I need to get banned because that's the only way that I will stop playing this game.
Oh no! What the
So
fuck did he
went
do?
on like a rampage in the game, like a shooting spree in the game.
He committed a mass shooting in
the
Second
game.
Life.
But before he did that, he made sure to make his anime girl's eyes like inverted, like black and red and make her look evil. And then he went on to shoot it.
Oh God.
That's so tragic.
So tragic, but then again, it's Second Life.
I hope to God he doesn't play any more games that children also play.
Me too. Hopefully he hasn't moved on to Roblox.
Me and Roblox have a long, sordid history.
Then we'll save it for another episode.
I can't wait.
Speaking of video games, we have a segment called The Triple Take.
Triple take.
The Triple Take, where we have a topic, or we have selected a topic, and we will each give our mild to hot take on it. And so this week's Triple Take topic is MMOs.
Whoa.
MMOs. So, Riley, it seems like you have a good take on MMOs, so
Okay.
why don't you start?
Well, I've played quite a few MMOs. I've tried Guild Wars 2, WoW, Skyforge with Paige,
That was a dark time.
SWTOR. Are we counting like Destiny too and like Warframe?
I mean, you could. I guess
They're like kind of MMOs, but they're a little different.
I guess technically, yeah.
Yeah, I'll include those two.
Technically.
I tried Blade and Soul for like 5 minutes, but the hot take on that one is that I just hate Blade and Soul. It's fucking trash.
What the fuck is Blade and Soul?
It's
I've
a
never
weeb
heard of
one.
It. Oh.
Where they just don't give a shit about anything except like PvP.
Oh.
You tried Terra.
Terra is the same, but at least it was a little bit cooler, but I also hated it.
You tried Black Desert?
No, I have not.
Okay.
It seems like it would fall into that category, though.
Wizard 101.
I actually did play Wizard 101.
Wizard 101 was the shit.
Listen, I played Wizard 101 in my childhood until you reach, like, you can't enter this road without paying actual money. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna stop now.
I mean, that's just what I did in elementary school. Whenever we went to the library, I just played Wizard 101.
It was good.
I did that, but for its lesser counterpart, Pirate.
Pirates 101.
Pirates 101.
I never
oh
played
my
that
God.
one. Nobody here remembers Toontown, but for one of
I
our
know
listeners
Toon.
out there, that was the shit.
I
okay?
remember Toontown,
My
but I never
mom-
played it.
It was the shit,
I was
alright?
allowed to. I wanted to play it so badly.
You needed a subscription to play it, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least to do anything substantive.
I played Fusion Fall for
I
a
played that
little
one
bit.
for a week.
Yeah, I played it. Yeah, for about a week. It was all right.
I was like, moving on.
It was all right.
I also played Elder Scrolls Online, and Paige and I played it at some point as well. We have some negative thoughts on that game.
Oh boy.
But the best MMO, the one I love the most, is Final Fantasy XIV.
Now, before we get into that, your take on MMOs is that you like them. They're good.
Certain
Some of them
MMOs
are good.
and that Final Fantasy XIV is the best, is my take.
All right. Well, tell us about Final Fantasy XIV.
Okay, Final Fantasy XIV is the best because, one, the aesthetic.
The
okay?
aesthetic.
It's hard to describe. It's got, like, you know, the classic Final Fantasy aesthetic, like it's kind of fantasy, kind of anime.
Kind of anime, yeah.
Kind of got some weird designs all over the place, like Final Fantasy X, for example.
Like zippers and
That's
the leather.
That's a great one. I love Titus's outfit. But it just has a really pleasing aesthetic, more than the other weeb MMOs, I'm just gonna call them.
I do like it because, well, I'll let you finish after I say this. Like, I don't like how most weeb MMOs are like, this fantasy world, we have very elaborate armor and dragons. And that's it.
It's usually like, this is a really weeby Asian, like, Japanese looking outfits, and they all look like that.
There's
and you're
no
just like, it's
subtle
cool.
there's no subtlety to it. It's like very in your face. This is a fantasy game.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you know.
this is like Japanese and shit. Like, thank you. But Final Fantasy does have a weeb class for that. There's like a samurai for fucking weebs out there who just can't live without their fucking katana. I'm not quote tweeting you.
I do like Sekiro a lot. Oh yeah, I played that this week. It's good.
It's good. Hot take, it's good.
It's fucking hard though. It's fucking hard. I'm stuck at the beginning.
But back to 14. The combat is not that different because most MMOs just have like you press a button, you press another button, you know, it's all good. There's like a basic attack and a bunch of abilities.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something about maybe it's the animations. Like I feel like it linking into each attack is just really satisfying for some reason.
There's a lot of combos.
And it's not like at least the level me and Paige are at, we're not like doing raids and shit because we only play the game.
We have social anxiety.
We only play the game whenever there's a free weekend or whatever because we're poor. Mm-hmm. But we get super into it in that time. But like,
we plan out our week so we can get the maximum amount of play.
This is true. I can attest to that. Mm-hmm. But I respect it.
It's good. We love this fucking game. We're not super far into it though, so we're not at like high levels, but it's not like a super easy MMO where like all the enemies are trash. Like if you're fighting shit that's like a level or two above you, it might be a bit of a problem.
Might be, yeah. Yeah, I get that. That's how I felt when I tried to play Warframe 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like there's this friend we have. His name is Kale. That's what we're calling him.
His name is Kale, yes.
He's Kale. And Kale, well, I guess before I get into this, my take on MMOs is that they look interesting, but I can't get into them because I don't find them that engaging. In fact, the way I see it, it's like MMOs are just a fun way to hang out with friends.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
And like, if you have a lot of spare time, then yeah, you can grind away at it. Or like if you have a very long attention span, you can grind away at it. But they're just not for me. I've tried playing, let's see, I tried Warframe 3 times. Couldn't get into it. I tried Final Fantasy 14. Couldn't get into it, but maybe I could if I just played with y'all some more.
I think the build up for Final Fantasy 14, it takes a hot minute. And if you pick the wrong class, you're going to be like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Because I know Kale, when he tried it, he doesn't really like it, but he was like, I think he played Archer, and he was like, I hate this. But then he played like...
He did some activity.
Was he a gladiator, or...
I don't know, he tried some other class and he was like, I like this a lot more. He still wasn't super into it, but he was like, this really changes it though.
I know that once I switched, I really liked the gladiator, but once it became a paladin, it got kind of boring. But so I became like a pirate. I became a rogue and I was really into it. I don't know if you remember.
The rogue animations look cool, but I was a lancer, and I still like lancer, but I switched to black mage and was like, yep.
Black mage, go black mage.
Oh, he was some magical person. Starts with a T.
Oh, a thaumaturge.
Yeah. Did he hate that or like that?
I think he said he hated it. I think.
Okay. Well,
yeah, because I remember him complaining about his item or something.
Oh, it was his
staff?
No.
Oh.
Is this the one that summons the little fucking rabbit thing?
It is.
Like, he didn't the little carbuncle, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
The carbuncle.
He didn't like its attacks and everything like that, and he didn't like the load on it.
He just doesn't like having to spend like a super long time. Like, it's a long time before you're going to be able to summon anything remotely cool. Which I understand, but I'm also like, I will do this.
Well, for me, that's also like something that keeps me back because I'm, I guess, intimidated by seeing other people who have been playing the game longer than me, and I like look at their stuff and I'm like, they've been playing this forever. They get to the point where I want to be at, and I don't want to put in that much time.
I 100% get that, but I look at people with like the cool mounts and armor and shit, and I'm like, I want that.
I'm also like that, but I just don't want to put in the effort.
See, for me, for like, if it's like another game that has that, like, other games do have stuff like that. Like, I guess SWTOR sometimes has like, oh, you can get certain items or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, SWTOR's fun. But when it comes to Final Fantasy, I'll be like, if I become, like, I didn't like being a conjurer, I didn't like the healing and stuff like that. I hated the story for conjurer. But I was like, if I become like a level 20 conjurer, I get a unicorn.
Yeah, I'm a little
And
jealous of your unicorn.
The amount of like, I'm very easy to please when it comes to rewards. Like, if they have every, like, I'm like, in 5 levels, I get this reward and I can get this or become this, I will do that because if the reward is nice enough to my sparkly eyes, I'll be like, yes. That's how
I'll do anything for it.
That's how I got stuck in Skyforge, which is a trash
Skyforge
game.
is so bad.
But they gave you little jewels that you could put into like skill points and become like multiple classes.
Yeah.
They weren't that fun to play as.
No, they weren't.
And it was like the same couple of maps over and over. The same terrible maps over and over. And but you could get all
But
these
the
little
little
jewels and you could level up so
things.
fast, except they put a cap limit on it.
The limit is
No.
so irritating because we got into that game for like 2 weeks and like there was a point where we had just played for days back to back and we had reached the cap on it and we were like, well, what do we do? This is all we've been doing this
and you
week.
could get a free like trial period for like, you know, like if you wanted a subscription, like a premium account or whatever. So we got the free trial, but then we reached the cap on the trial limit too. And then even though it was much bigger, and so once we switched back to the regular version, we just had to quit.
Oh no.
The reward system wasn't enough.
The cap really prevented it.
If it didn't have a cap, we'd probably still be playing it.
We'd be playing Skyforge to this day, being
The
like, this
story
isn't that good.
is
But...
really
The
bad.
darkest timeline.
It is.
Oh yeah, Skyforge is kind of one of those like weeb MMOs.
There's a guy named Flavius. And there's a
That's all
woman
I
who was
remember.
obviously a villain that was on our side.
I love how weeb shit can never really make their villains subtle. It's always like,
No, it's
oh,
like, this
I
is-
am a villain.
I am dressed in all black and I have horns on every inch of my
I'm
body.
wearing fedora.
Milady.
You were saying something about Kale though and Warframe, and we just.
Oh yeah. So I tried playing Warframe 3 times, and Kale really wants me to play Warframe because I played Destiny, and I
Just quick note, me and Kale super play Warframe. We have thousands of hours into Warframe.
Yeah. I just can't get into it. I don't really know why. I just don't find it that engaging. Well, I also
I agree.
don't like the aesthetic all that much.
I
And I
kind of
look
agree.
at a lot of the gear and I'm like, I don't like the way this looks. And like, yeah, it does some cool stuff, but I don't want to look at it. So I don't want to get it.
I actually agree with you. I feel like I like maybe 25% of the weapons and like scarves and shit in the game. But that 25%, I'm like, that's gonna be mine. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I was really bad at Warframe. Really bad at it.
Yeah, I agree.
But I did have Kale and Riley here come over to my house to try to play Warframe on my computer, and I think y'all guys understood. Like I was gonna be bad no matter what.
The lag.
The lag, and also my shift key on my keyboard was in a weird spot, kinda.
Yeah.
It was hard to do that and do all the moves. And y'all guys were like, press your finger on the shift key, and I'm like, it hurts.
It hurts.
Also, like, when I played it with Riley and Kale, they brought me into, like, some higher level activities, and I was just kind of, like, standing around, letting them do all the work.
Because
and
we had to get you those resources.
You
but,
did,
like,
and wasn't very fun.
It'd probably be more fun if we had, like, if we were on the same level as you. But
Yeah, but I'll have to put in a lot of time, and I kind of just don't
Yeah.
That
want
was
to.
what happened to me too, and I also didn't understand how to like make things or do stuff. And Kale and
Listen.
Riley would be like, "You got to come to this place, and you got it. Did you get the item?" And I'm like, "I don't know if I have the item."
like, it's such a hard to understand game unless you're already in it.
I
and you already
know.
because the tutorial doesn't fucking tell you shit.
No, because they haven't updated the tutorial since the game came out.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't give you a lot of helpful hints, let's just say. And you basically need to either just read the wiki as you're playing to understand, or just have someone there who will explain it. But me and Kale don't know how to explain it, because you already have to know so many facts, like what this resource is, to know where to get it.
What
and then
mission
which
to do
mission
to get it.
is the best one to do
Yeah.
to get it. And then you gotta go do that mission. How do you beat that mission?
See,
Just don't know.
Kale is so into that. It's a free-to-play game, yet Kale has spent money, like a lot of money.
It's a lot. I'm not gonna expose him on this podcast.
He's a
but
whale.
It's hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds of dollars.
I won't expose the first number of hundreds.
It's-
I know it, but I won't say.
He gave me, like a few months ago, the last time I tried to play it, he gave me a ton of Endo, and he gave me, like, he just bought me Mesa. Like, he just bought me a
Yeah.
Warframe. And I was like, you don't need to do this. And that's how much he wanted me to play it with him.
It
So that
makes
he
me
got me the
sad.
So
Warframe that
sad.
looked the most fun to me.
When he does stuff like this, it
And
makes me sad.
But then I didn't end up playing much after that.
He bought me Elder Scrolls Online, and we did not play it for very long.
I bought him Factorio over Christmas because I was like, he might like this.
I don't think I ever see him playing it.
Yeah, no. And he bought me Divinity Original Sin, and I played maybe like the first 40 minutes of it. And I just haven't gotten back around to it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, but it's really
yeah,
good.
it's a fun game.
Yeah.
We gotta finish our run page.
Other MMOs I've played, I already said I play Destiny. Do I feel good about it? No.
Did you buy all the passes for it? Yes. Am I disappointed in you? Yes.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Well, there's this group of people, like this group of friends from high school that I know play the game. And Kale and I played Destiny Forsaken when it came out for like a few weeks. But when he was done, I was like, no, there's still stuff I want. So I reached out to these people.
you reached out, extended an olive branch,
And then I played with them, and it's fun for like the first couple of weeks, but then you like do everything, and it's either like go back and do everything again and just keep
Yep.
getting better stuff, and then or quit.
Yep.
But now, like, they changed the way they release content, which is like the annual pass, which I hate. It's $30, and I also hate that I bought it.
I hate it, but I also bought it.
Yeah, because Black Armory looked really cool, and it was cool for like the first 3 weeks, and then it's like, well, there's nothing new except for like this new weapon that came out, and they have a whole quest for. But it's like every 3 months, or like every season, which is 3 months, they have like a bunch of new activities, and I'll like go in and do the new stuff for like a week, and just to see like what's up, and then I'll stop.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
I've heard of that being like a thing people.
Well, I mean, I bought the annual pass, so like I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, me and Kale basically do that with Warframe. We're like, let's check out the new stuff. We're out of things to do, let's stop.
Yeah.
But I played Destiny 2 with both of you when
Yes.
it came out.
It didn't seem like you
For
had
sure.
fun.
I mean, I had an amount of fun.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Destiny 2 at release was pretty bad. Like, I stopped playing a week after you did.
Like, it was fun to hang out with you guys, but the game could have been replaced with
Anything.
any other game, and it
Yeah.
would have been just as fun.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that I spent $60 on that game just to hang out with you fucking losers.
Other games I've tried to play. I played The Division on PlayStation with my old PlayStation crew when that came out.
I did a free demo of that and I was terrible.
It's not easy. Like, it's harder than you would think.
It was really hard. I was like, oh God, I'm being murdered.
Yeah. And I remember having fun with it, but it was also with that, like, I played a little bit and then stopped and then picked it up again after, like, some update came out. And it was like the same thing with Warframe. I would, like, play with my friends and I would just be, like, standing around while they try to level me up. Like, they took me through, I think they were called raids, where you just, like, literally raid a building and kill the boss enemy.
Yeah.
And, like, you get some good loot.
See, I was playing it by myself and I was just in a dark place.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that at all.
Yeah, I thought about at least checking out The Division 2, but I'm afraid it's going to end up being like another Destiny situation it's like, I'll play it for a week or two and then just drop it, and then I'll feel bad for spending money on it.
The price tag on all these $60 games, and then they're like,
Yeah.
Battle Pass afterwards is just too fucking high for me.
Yeah, and like, if I get it, I'll have to find people to play with, and I don't know anyone who plays The Division.
Why buy a game when you have Apex?
That's true. Why buy a game when you have Apex Legends?
Slaypex!
It's okay if you suck.
We're so bad at Apex.
We're
oh
so
my
bad.
God. So Paige here doesn't play Apex, but me and Cooper play it with Kale.
My computer
play it
won't
with
be able
Kale.
to handle Apex.
Which is sad.
That's pretty bad. We need to change that. Apex is a lot of fun. And like,
we're so bad. Oh my God.
See, the games I like shooters, and I like strategy games, and I like some what are they called? Battle Royales. I can't believe I forgot the name of the fucking game.
Yeah, I played Fortnite for a minute.
I've never played Fortnite. I just know it's a big meme.
All I know is that Apex is the only Battle Royale I've played, and I can't even remember the last FPS I played before it. So that's why I'm so bad.
I played, well, like every other middle school kid growing up in
Call of Duty
2010s. I played COD. I also played Battlefield for a hot minute. I have like a very sad and like ridiculous amount of hours in Battlefield 4. I think it's something like 2,500 hours in Battlefield 4.
Oh,
you're getting up in like my Overwatch hours.
Yeah. I played Overwatch for a hot minute, and that was a lot of fun. And I played The Division, and the first like battle royale game I played was PUBG, but I was actually okay at PUBG, so I don't know why I'm fucking terrible at Apex. And I guess like they're different games, and you can't like peek around corners using a third-person camera with it in Apex.
That sounds a little jank.
I mean, as far as I know, PUBG is still pretty jank despite coming out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I've heard that.
There are times where I've wanted to go back to PUBG just because I heard like they released a new map or something. But I just kind of don't want to either, because I've won a few games and I'm just like, well, I don't care about these cosmetics they have, so I'm just not going to play anymore. I already got my rush from winning.
I've watched people play it, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
PUBG or Apex?
Both.
Both. Apex can get really intense.
Yeah.
I feel like Kale sometimes doesn't like Apex because we suck.
Yeah, we're holding him back, and we're like,
win.
Oh God.
Kale will definitely get upset if you suck at a game.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Like SWTOR.
Oh. I also tried to play SWTOR.
Yeah, we didn't mention SWTOR very much in the MMOs section, but I would say that's right under 14 for me.
Same.
Because it looks kind of ugly and bad.
God awful.
Like, it looks a bit like shit.
It looks like every cliche sci-fi thing that has low quality budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's it almost looks like it's purposely low quality.
Yeah, it looks
especially
like they just made a game and went, we're gonna JPEG this.
It has some really good cutscenes though, and it's like, why can't the cutscenes look like the game?
I love the story in SWTOR. Like the agent story is so good. It's
really
like
good.
it stands alone as its own like video game story.
The Sith Inquisitor story is
That's
amazing.
fucking great.
Because you're just getting more and more power.
Unlimited power.
Thank you. I watch the Star War as well. I occasionally have seen a Star War.
Have you now?
Yes. But what was I gonna say about SWTOR?
SWTOR Kale?
Yeah, it's
and SWTOR?
right. Kale.
Oh, he's very into SWTOR.
I hope he doesn't watch this episode. But
No, tell him not to listen to it.
But we were both into SWTOR, and whenever Paige tried to play it with us, he'd kind of be like, "Why are you lagging behind?"
I'd be like, because my computer's slow.
Like, why don't you already know how to do this thing, Paige? And I was like, chill out, Kale. I'm gonna drive her away.
He's like, why are you using your flashbang again? It hasn't worn off. And I'm like, I click buttons.
Honestly,
and sometimes I press the 5 key a little too much.
I mean, that's how you play MMOs, right?
I have
You just
several
push buttons.
max level characters in SWTOR, and I still don't know like the proper combo order. I'm just like, oh, buttons.
That's why I really liked Final Fantasy XIV, because you press a button, and if you have enough things to make a combo, it'll light up the next ones
I
that
know.
can make a
Oh,
combo.
that's neat.
And I'd be
I
like,
like that.
hee, I'm gonna press this.
And
I'm a pro gamer.
I know combos because it tells me what to press.
but I feel like SWTOR kind of overflows you with a lot of abilities at once, so you're like, fuck it, I'm not gonna learn this.
I'll spam
Yeah.
an ability a lot.
I get that.
Lightning.
Just
Yeah.
like petrified by choice.
But 14 gives you one every 20 years, so you're like, well, I'm gonna definitely learn this. I have nothing else to do.
And I often rearrange the bar. Like, I used to never rearrange bars in MMOs. Like, I know Kale with a very, like, precise way he likes to set up his stuff. He's like, this is how, this is the best way for me to do all this stuff. I used to not care. I'd be like, I put this ability down here and I've forgotten about it. When it came to Final Fantasy XIV, I'd be like, all right, my finger doesn't like reaching here for the combo, so I'm going to rearrange my whole bar for this.
Smart. Final Fantasy XIV has made you think like a real gamer.
Like a fucking gamer god.
I'm sure if anybody saw me playing Final Fantasy XIV, they'd be like, wow, what a gamer god. These 2 girls going into a dungeon by themselves, 2 of them.
Oh yeah, we have
gamer
such
god.
we have
Two
such social
bad
anxiety.
bitches.
We have such social anxiety with games that we're like,
Okay,
I don't want to play with other people. We're gonna solo the dungeons
Because we don't want other people to see how bad we are.
Let me make
Yeah.
note that we wouldn't get XP, and it was like 4 times harder with just 2 of us.
Yeah, no XP.
So I'm the same way, but I have forced myself to like partner up with people so often that I've kind of just gotten over it to
That's
an extent.
probably what I need to do.
So the only 2 games I've like forced myself to partner with people in are The Division and Destiny. And so maybe like a few months ago when I reached out to my friends from high school to play Destiny with, I was like, yeah, we can do the raid. I was fucking terrified because I knew I would fuck it up, and they'd be like, Logan, what the fuck are you doing? They acted like just like Caleb would, or
Yeah, that
Kale
shit
would.
stresses me out.
It stressed me out, but then like I figured it out and I ran it with them, and it was fine.
That's how I felt when I first started playing Overwatch. I was so scared.
Yeah, Overwatch. I was the same with
I would
Overwatch
do,
and
Yeah,
CS:GO.
like for the first week or 2 of Overwatch, I'd only play with the AIs because I was so scared.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's the reason why I stopped playing Overwatch, is that I just thought
Well,
everyone else
if you
playing the game was just getting so much better than I ever could be, so I just dropped it.
Well, that's how I feel about Apex, but I'm still gonna play. We'll win.
I mean, yeah,
someday.
but at least in Apex, there's no, like, they literally can't interact with you. There's only your team, your 3 people
yeah.
that you're messing with.
Now
by
I've
losing.
solo queued with some people in Apex,
I can't do
and
it.
sometimes they're really into it, but sometimes they're just dumb.
I've jumped over that hurdle for Overwatch though, so I don't mind if people message me on Overwatch, even though it's like I play it on console, but people will still message you.
Yeah.
Or like, and so if somebody messages you on console, they went out of their way.
Yeah,
and
they fucking try.
I'll respond, and I don't mind getting into parties sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I tried to do that one time on Final Fantasy XIV, I was like, I'm gonna go in a dungeon by myself with other people. I got so stressed out, I just closed the game.
And did you get like
it locked you out of the game?
Sweaty? Was your face really red? Yeah,
I
get
like,
same way. For me,
I was shaking.
Mm-hmm.
I was
yeah.
like, this sounds really pathetic.
I know, but it's so relatable.
I mean, it's true. Like, listeners, if you experience the same feeling, please tell us.
Please tell
it's
us
okay.
because I feel
Validate
like
us.
I do feel really bad about it.
The average gamer boy is like, yeah, I play COD, no problem. And I'm just like, that stresses me out. But
it's okay. We all get nervous.
That's why I dropped Overwatch like a fucking hot rock. Now, this is going to be the saddest thing anyone's ever heard.
Well,
the last game that I was like, I'm cool with like queuing with just my friend and go in a team setting was Battleborn, okay? That game's dead as fuck.
Rest in peace, Battleborn.
And like, I feel like 90% of everyone still thinks it's an Overwatch clone that died, even though it's more like a MOBA than
it's very different
a shooter.
From Overwatch.
Yeah, it's their own fault because the game marketed itself as a competitor to Overwatch, even though it couldn't.
They released at the same time as Overwatch.
Yeah.
Now, if Battleborn came out now, I'm sure it would.
I'm sure
at least last longer.
Yeah.
Right?
I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, was Battleborn a bad game? And I was like, no, it wasn't a bad game. They didn't have bad character designs or anything. The characters were nice.
I liked the character. It's such a waste because all the characters had a lot of personality.
What failed the game was the marketing. I'm like so sure of this.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
The marketing and like their release timing was not
on the
good.
same month
Also
as
the
Overwatch.
figure
Well, I
Yes.
heard that they were gonna release and then Blizzard bumped up Overwatch's release date.
If they do that, then just change it.
Yeah, but they were like, no, we're gonna release it. We're gonna stay vigilant and release it. And that kind of screwed them over because everyone bought Overwatch.
It was $20 more because Overwatch on PC was $40 on release.
Yeah.
So it was just, there was no competition. Overwatch was so well marketed.
There was also, when Battleborn was going to be released, I don't know if y'all guys remember, but you could like pre-order it and you'd get figurines.
They were such shitty
The
figurines.
figurines were some of the lowest quality figurines I've seen, so I already put a bad taste in people's mouth.
Oh.
Like, it was really bad. It was like, it didn't look like the characters at all.
Oh.
The painting
that bad, huh?
of like the face, like the eyes weren't correct, and like
it was so
they were
shit.
melting essentially.
They were melting.
Is what they looked like.
Oh, like you just put the paint in the right spot, but then you forgot to lift the brush.
Yes.
But like a lot of people didn't know that it came out free to play at some point.
Yeah.
They called it
Like,
a free trial.
I only heard that it was free to play because I listened to the Super Best Friend cast. Rest in peace, by the way.
Oh, bother.
Well, I mean, it still exists. It's just under a different name.
I hope that's how our podcast ends.
Oh no.
But
Well, that podcast and the Let's Play channel ended because they stopped being friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they straight up said, we're not friends anymore.
I can't
in their
wait.
goodbye video.
I can't wait to never see either of you ever again.
Well,
to be
I
honest.
can't wait to see you ever again.
Thank you.
I enjoy y'all's company.
Shut the fuck up, Paige.
Go away. Oh, wait. Did you ever give your hot take or your position on MMOs?
I like MMOs for the most part, but I don't like a lot of the culture around MMOs. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I 100%
And
agree.
for me to enjoy an MMO, it has to have a reward system.
With shiny rocks.
It was shiny rocks for me. Or maybe give me a unicorn once I reach level 20.
It's gotta be psychological about it, because I feel like 14 doesn't even give you that many rewards, but it's like the reward you're gonna get is gonna be nice. You're gonna unlock a new thing.
Who I named Amir Steps in Blood.
Amir. It was Aramir.
Aramir.
Armir steps in
Fucking
blood.
God, you don't even know his fucking name. Kill yourself.
Fake fan. Do
Oh.
we Oh, what were you saying?
I was going to talk about Elder Scrolls.
Oh, talk about Elder Scrolls.
So, Riley and I agree about Elder Scrolls. To be fair, the only time I've played Elder Scrolls was
Elder Scrolls Online?
Online. Is when it first came out. I heard it's different now than when it first came out.
I've heard that too, and I almost took the plunge a few years ago.
It's a little better, I guess.
Almost bought it.
Played it was just like you go from person to person, wall of text, no voice acting. The missions weren't that interesting. It just felt like very bland. Like I was expecting like the missions to build up a bit, and they weren't building up for me. And the aesthetic wasn't very interesting to me.
It looks really gray and dull, just like fucking Skyrim does.
Yeah, it felt very neutral. I was just like, and it didn't interest me enough. And I was like, that was awful. That was just terrible.
Yeah,
I wasn't reading all the text.
It looks like generic fantasy world, sort of. I mean, it has some of the Elder Scrolls flair to it.
Kale likes it because he already knows the Elder Scrolls lore.
Yeah.
But I just don't give a shit about like, Elder Scrolls.
I get it. Like, I looked at some of the trailers for Elder Scrolls Online expansions, and, like, I don't know that much about the Elder Scrolls lore, so I looked at it and I'm like, this could be, like, any other MMO, really.
Yeah, it was just kind of boring. I feel like I could get into it, but also, like, I'd just rather play Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 feels like a better Elder Scrolls Online.
I don't mind reading I don't mind reading text for MMOs, like, if you're not going to voice. I'd prefer voice acting, obviously. But
I think they added more voice acting, which is an improvement, but it's still not great.
I don't mind reading. It's just that when I was faced with all the text from Elder Scrolls Online, I was like, I don't care. I don't want to read all of this. And then so the further I got, the more I was like, what's happening?
Oh no. Oh. I don't think I ever read a single word in Terra. Like that was just the epitome of wall of text. Who gives a shit?
The aesthetic was better than Elder Scrolls.
True. So. It was a little too weeby.
It was very weeby.
But it was more interesting than Elder Scrolls.
So, do we have any more hot takes for the triple take?
Oh, did you want to go into the culture of MMOs?
Oh.
Yeah, you did mention that.
Of these people that...
Good start.
These people
that go so hard. Like, okay, I know Riley and I said that we do plan like a week or whatever when it's free to play for, to schedule our lives around it. But that's also because it's so rare for us to play the game,
Right.
But these people that dedicate their lives and they're just neck bearding it up.
The basement dwellers,
oh no.
It gives such a bad name to MMO people. People who, like you were talking about the Second Life people, I hate that. People,
okay.
I'm tired of the guys being girls on, like, you can be a girl player on MMOs.
Whoa, Aaron.
No, let me tell you, I've heard
That's a hot take.
The guys that you can be a girl on an MMO, but the guys that will be girls on MMOs and then just RP and be like, give me free stuff, kawaii, and you're a 43-year-old neckbeard being this busty anime girl, I hate that.
Have y'all seen Welcome to the NHK?
No.
Well, so it's a anime about this Hiki guy. He doesn't leave his room at all. He tried to go to school, but on his way to school, he just freaked out and he was like, I'm gonna stay at home. And so the show is about him and this girl he meets, trying to get him out of his room, basically, and make him a normal person. Mm-hmm. Well, there's one point of the show, after he gets back from the suicide island.
Okay.
After, the suicide island, one of the guys he was gonna, I guess, try to kill himself with. Well, he didn't know they were gonna kill himself. Or he didn't know they were gonna try and kill themselves, but, he met this kid on the island and he talked to him. And so, after they got, I guess, rescued, this kid is like, hey, I think you'll like this game. And he hands him a free trial code for Final Fantasy 14. And so...
Bless you, sir.
So like, it's not called Final Fantasy 14 in the show because, like, copyright,
Yeah,
but
obviously.
it's Final Fantasy 14. So, like, he gets really into FF14 and he meets this person. He meets this
Oh, is he
player
gonna get
who is a
catfished?
cat girl,
You
right?
got catgirled.
Cat girl.
Yeah, and he
Hate it.
starts, like, playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 with this cat girl player. And to the point where he's like, oh my god, I'm in love with her.
Oh god.
And then it turns out that, like, it's his neighbor who found out that he started playing Final Fantasy 14. And his neighbor, and I guess his friend, is like, don't. Just don't.
Just don't.
Just don't. You gotta be careful who you play with online. And also, playing this game is just gonna make your life worse.
It's
Okay.
fine. Like, I understand getting swept up in all of it, because I do that too. I'll play an MMO, I'll get greasy and be eating potato chips, and my face will break out, and I'll be really sweaty and smell bad. I understand. But if you're like that all the time, it's when it gets bad. You need to, like, I don't know, breathe.
Breathe
Use
fresh
some
air.
soap,
Take a shower.
maybe put down the chips for a minute.
Yeah,
Drink of water.
pick up some kale chips or some salad, something green.
Yeah, eat a pickle.
See,
I don't know.
Eat a pickle.
Here's what I thought you were gonna go into. I thought you were gonna be like, I hate the culture of like competitiveness. in
I do hate the
MMOs.
competitiveness too. I hate people who are like fucking noob. Like, I hate it when they look down on people who don't get as into the game as they are.
Casuals, filthy
Yeah,
casuals.
Yeah, I mean, there's not as a casual.
As a casual.
There's not. I don't see anything wrong with being a casual. It's like, if you don't like me, I'm not gonna be here forever.
Yeah. It's kind of just like, I don't like the elitist attitude a lot of people. I haven't seen it in 14 firsthand. I'm sure it's there, but like.
Yeah, it's definitely. I've been on forums. It's there.
Yeah.
This also, I guess, bleeds into like a lot of other video games where, like, if you go to forums and
Yeah.
you ask for help on something, like, even if
Yeah.
it's something stupid, this person just doesn't understand, and
They're
there'll
like,
be
oh, why are you such a fucking dumbass? Do
Like-
you even read? Like,
Riley and I played Final Fantasy X, and we needed help with like tips for grinding, because we weren't, like, we kept on being under-leveled when we had to go fight a boss or something. And we went on a forum.
I
And
love this so much.
there is this motherfucker on this forum who was like, oh, well, after only 1 hour of grinding, I reached maximum level and I was doing 9999 damage on every hint. After only 1 hour of
1
grinding
hour of
in this
grinding.
area. So Riley
Do you
and
want to name blast this guy?
I don't remember his name.
Oh.
But I was so pissed off because we had been grinding for hours.
We just kept quoting him every time we were like
After-
losing. We'd be like,
Yeah.
we should be doing
After
9,999.
every time another hour passed, we were like, after only 1 hour of grind. He's such a liar. He's a cheater and a liar and a dumb bitch.
Sounds like quite the guy.
I was murderous.
But
Sounds
MMOs
like it.
especially have those fucking
that
assholes.
attitude.
Seems. I mean,
You should be
seems
welcoming
like
to
it.
new people, shouldn't you? You should want more
If
people
you
to
don't-
like the thing that you like.
If you don't welcome new people, then your game just dies.
I don't want
There's
any
no new
casuals
blood.
playing.
I'm
that
a
game, though.
gatekeeper, and I don't like it when fucking new people enter the thing that I already like, because I like feeling superior about
Oh.
something in my life.
You don't know how to make weapons in this game? Oh, you're wearing that armor with that?
Oh, you're still using that. They nerfed that in the blah 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 patch.
Fucking
Oh,
dumbass.
you chose that class. Interesting.
An interesting choice.
You know, I
Not
have
one I would have known.
I have noticed that, like, back to that, like, the only time I've experienced that is with Destiny, when I tried to, like, queue with people and I had a certain class set up that was working for me, and this guy was like, oh, you're using that? Maybe use this from now on. And I'm like, fuck you? But thanks for the help.
I'm fine with people wanting to help people and give them advice, but there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like you're such a fucking idiot, kill yourself. You're not doing this with maximum efficiency. It's like, oh, if you want to do a little better, maybe you should do this. But it's just a suggestion.
Yeah, because the guy was like being kind of snooty towards me.
I just kind of hate it when they're like, oh, you're using the blue bow. Don't do that. Use this gun. And I'm like, okay, like stop.
What if the bluebell is more fun and I have more fun using
What
the
if
blue
I
bell?
like the blue bow? I don't want to use a gun.
What if it looks cool?
Yeah, what if... Don't talk down for me for wanting to use something that looks cool.
I want to be fashionable and effective.
To be honest, that's life. That's just life, guys.
If I can't be aesthetically pleased in an MMO, what is it for?
Leave.
What is it for?
Honestly?
Yeah.
If I wanted to be ugly, I'd look in the mirror.
Because it's your... Whoa. That's a hot take.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But it's like, if it's a character you're putting a lot of time into, then you want them to look good.
Yeah. That's like 99% of the appeal of MMOs is like one day my character is going to look good.
You can make them look really cool, and that is appealing to me. I just don't want to put into work to get to that point.
I feel that.
Roulette.
So, do we have any more hot takes on MMOs? Any more opinions for the triple take?
What other MMOs can I shit on? I think I already shit on all of them.
Well, our recording is almost an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, God.
Oh, nice.
We've had a lot to say.
MMOs are fun to talk about.
I agree.
I think we've said enough, so I say we wrap it up.
Peace out, gamers.
Well, not yet. We have some things to say.
Okay.
So, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel to, make sure you keep up with new episodes. And follow us on Twitter.
Please follow me on Twitter. I have art. Listen, it's not that good, but please follow me on Twitter.
Can we make a Leftovers Twitter?
Well,
Okay.
I said we should make one.
Fuck that Twitter. Follow me personally.
Well, also follow the Leftovers podcast on Twitter to keep up with episodes.
Yes.
And, feel free to reach out to us for comments, or if you have any questions you want to ask us, we'll answer them on the podcast. Well, that's it for our first episode of the Leftovers podcast. Thank you for listening, and see you next Wednesday.
Gamers rise up.